guys, Aiden here. There's only a few days left for the PlayStation 4 launch, so I'm pretty hyped for that. So, on feedback from my previous video, I will be going a little bit more in depth, but not too much on the classes and why witch or wizard are a great one to start with if you're not sure what class to play, or like me, you're still waiting on another class that is not available at launch. So I will be talking mostly from personal experience most of the time. So let's kick this video off with Warrior, which is the bread and butter sword and board guy. When I played him, I thought that he is most likely the least flashy class out of the 6 starting classes until he gets his awakening. He does do this quite reliable, but his grinding speed isn't up there with the rest of it. It's more of a bit down there. Not that you won't be able to reach level 50 or anything, but seeing he doesn't have any range, you will be running after enemies quite a bit. You will also be depending on healing pots for quite some time, as he doesn't get any decent heals until after his awakening. So you will be slurping that juice for quite a while. He does get a block, which can be used to negate all frontal damage, so that's at least something, and he's quite a nimble class to play. Overall, he's a decent class and easy to master, though for a temporary ease of use class I would not recommend this one. Maybe you might prefer to play Berserker. Berserkers, they play with their double axes and are most likely the easiest class to pick up and play well, though they might be doomed in 1 versus 1 against high mobility classes, as they don't have a lot of disengages. They, however, do get a couple of heals over time abilities, so their strategy is getting hit and hitting it harder back. You won't see a lot of expert growth on this character, as it's really easy to master. They do have a high health pool advantage over other classes, and coupled with their easy playstyle, if you really need to go the melee style on your first character, this is a good solid intro class. Still, I personally like to have options on my character to grow. Maybe you do too, so Sorceress might be the class for you. Having said that, Sorceress is pretty much totally on the other side of the Berserker coin. She has tremendous combo potential and room for personal skill growth, maybe a little bit too much in the way that most players won't be able to make use of all that extra potential. She gets decent self-recovery, but you still need to avoid getting hit yourself. There's no block, easy regen. You really need to avoid it yourself with her mobility. If you really like a challenge and like 1 versus 1 PvP, Sorceress is a really nice class. I personally mained this class, but dropped it after a few months on PC, as it was really hard to do all the animation cancels to get the most out of this class. Definitely a fun class, but I don't know how well she will play on a controller. I will, however, pick this class up at some point in time as a twink, see how she plays, but I just won't be maining this one because even for me she was really hard to play. Now we get to the range classes, starting with the Ranger. A little bit personal information from me back in the day. I used to be an EverQuest player, and I played the Ranger there, which was the brilliant joke at the time. We had dual swords and we had crappy bows. Now the Ranger here isn't like that, but she's still a glass cannon in the same regard as back in my EverQuest days, so I still have probably nightmares about this. Though the Ranger is a great mid-ranged class who deals some serious single target damage, and she can also guide your opponents around, so she won't suffer too much damage while doing that. She also has a decent amount of area of attack skills to deal with a bunch of enemies at the same time, and she has decently large growth for expert play. Having said that, she does rely a lot on mana potions, as her sustain isn't all that when she awakens. She pretty much becomes a melee glass cannon class, so she pretty much flips it 180 degrees. So please keep that in mind, as some people might not like the shift going from a ranged class to to a melee class. However, she does have a couple of combos or flows to switch between the playstyles. She has good 1 versus 1 PvP potential and decent clear speed in PvE. So if you want a range class while still looking like you're not wearing potato bags 24/7, maybe you should give this class a shot. I will certainly be making a Twink Ranger at some point. Now we get to the Witch and Wizards, who I addressed in a previous video, but I probably droned on a little bit too much at one clicking everything. So I personally have never played Wizards, but I know they're close enough in terms of playstyle to talk about them as a single class. So until they at least get their awakened skills. For a new player to the game, these two classes are pretty much hands down the easiest to pick up and learn, while still maintaining a deep set of skills that allows for the player to grow with them. They work well in a party, so finding and meeting new people who would like to have you in their party should not be an issue. Witch and Wizards are an AoE heavy immobile class, so 1 versus 1 PvP is not their strong suit. So being in a party will help, although I have always grinded solo and could most of the time 1 or 2 shot enemy players unless they were too well geared or knew what they were doing. Now at the start of the game, none of that is going to matter because nobody has any gear and you should do well right out of the box. They have the best self-sustain on the field. By level 50 you have 2 healing spells that recover both mana and health, one on a short 10-second timer and a 1-minute timer. Basically, when it comes down to PvE, you won't ever need any pots, which I consider as a great value, right next to their impressive destructive spells. All around, they are the easiest class to pick up and do well with, while they still leave room for you to grow in the future. In my previous video, I basically leveled from level 1 to 50 using one skill. It is that easy. So if none of the other starting classes are your thing and you need a temporary one like I do, I plan to main Lan when she's released, and I think like if you look at the Xbox launch schedule, she will arrive 1 month after release, so I'm waiting on that. So Witch and Wizards are probably the best picks out of the 6 starting classes, hands down, to grind with temporarily. Meanwhile, one warning though, nuking everything in one shot does get boring at times. You've been warned about that, but if you like seeing everything go up in flames in one big nuke, well, this is your class. Anyways, if you made it this far into the video and you like it, consider dropping a like and a sub. Maybe check out my other 2 channels, links are in the description below. Thank you for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Or, well, on Black Desert Online on PlayStation 4 when it launches. See you there guys, bye bye.